blessings are just amazing. And I want to thank Salah for being such a wonderful, mystic, and generous spirit, and opening up Serenity Room to a thing called the Oneness Temple. And I want to thank Chris for being so supportive and loving, and such a mystic, and such a guide. And so I'm just filled with gratitude tonight. And I thought what we would do, a little different maybe than my regular shtick, which is I would start us off with a sacred dialogue. And we have another mic here. I mean, it's not even, we're such a small group too that, I mean, as long as you talk nice and loud, it wouldn't be that big a deal if you couldn't get to the mic, or if the mic couldn't get to you. This one is pretty long, so. The theme is oneness. You know, the name of the temple is Oneness Temple. The Oneness Temple. And so, well, what's oneness? You know, what does oneness mean anyway? And so I thought that I would talk a real short little thing about what oneness means, and what the one is, and what the one means, and that concept means to me. So when I think of one, I think of the one source. I think of the divine intelligence, right? I think of Om, Great Spirit to the indigenous, to the Native American Wakantakan, right? Or Brahman to the Hindu, Allah to the Muslim, Holy Spirit, God the Father, Jesus to the Christian, Yahweh, Shekhinah, the divine presence to the Jewish people. To the Sikhs, it's the cosmic void. I really like that one. And the Tao Te Ching says, and I'm going to quote, this is from Lao Tzu, something mysteriously formed before heaven and earth, in the silence and in the void, standing alone and unchanging, ever present and in motion. He says, perhaps it's the mother of 10,000 things. I don't know its name. Call it Tao, for lack of a better word, call it great. I love that. Because also the Tao Te Ching talks about, you know, the Tao that we know, the eternal, you know, is not the eternal Tao. So, like, once you name it, you've lost it. Once you think you put a name on it, or a tag on it, or a category on it, or a religion on it, you lost it. Because that's not what it is. The one source. The Hindu scriptures, the Upanishads, describe the one as all-pervading, the all-pervading self, the blessed self. Our Guru, Swami Jyotirmayananda, he greets you with adorations, blessed self. That's how he says hello. Adorations, blessed self. Because look, there's this practical reality, the practical realm. Some of us talk about life on life's terms, the day-to-day stuff, right? You know, we have a friend, a very dear friend, who's dying. And she's transitioning, and she's going to transition any day now. And I think that we find comfort when we know that we are ever existing. And that this practical realm is just one embodiment. It's just one story. It's what the Hindus believe, it's what the Buddhists believe, it's what the Jains believe. It's what I believe. I believe this is just one story. This Grace Telesco story. This Grace Telesco embodiment. But sometimes, even though I know I'm a spiritual being having a human experience, I know that I'm not this body, but I still get upset. I still get upset when I get that letter in the mail from the insurance company that says, you didn't pay the insurance premium. It's like, what? I have automatic payment. What are you talking about? I'm Chase. I have to call Chase right away. And it's like, getting all upset. Start getting all upset and got caught up and forget. I'm in practical reality, and I forget. I forget who I really am. And I don't mean, don't you know who I am? I mean, I forget that it's okay, that this spirit, this indwelling, this, whatever you want to call it, God, Shekinah, the divine presence, the one, this suchness, the Tao. You see, all of these, I'm an interfaith minister, right? I'm an ordained interfaith minister, but I've had a spiritual awakening, another one, over the weekend. And that was thanks to one of my students. I'm not interfaith. Yes, I was ordained as an interfaith minister, and I studied for many years doing that, and that has a lot of validity to it. But I'm really an interfaith. Interfaith ministry. That's what I'm really about. That's what we're really about. Because all of the other religions and faith practices, get caught up in language, gets caught up in culture, gets caught up in symbols, gets caught up in baggage and tradition. But interfaith, that's the place you go when you find out that your wife has stage 4 cancer and she's not going to make it. That this embodiment is coming to an end. That's the place that you really have to go within inner faith and find out who am I? Who am I really? One of my favorite Hindu chants. It's the peace chant. Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vajishyate, which means, and this is really cool, that, the one, that, right? From that, which is all that exists, manifested this beautiful flower. All of this. And yet, this that came from that, taken from that, does not take away from that. Because that still remains whole. It's like a tongue tweezer. It's like, what is that? What does that mean? So, 2 last things. Absolute reality. That, the one, the divine intelligence, you know, the thing that moves and breathes and is life, the life energy force, the thing, I always talk about this, the thing that makes the planet spin on its axis as it rotates around the sun and we don't fall off. How is that? What is that intelligence that knows how to put this caterpillar inside of a little cocoon and then, you know, if you watch it, like we actually, I was going to say we raise butterflies, but we really don't. But we have a lot of butterfly plants, so we get to see this up close and personal, like a little, you know, National Geographic thing. But you get to watch, actually, you can see the caterpillar pulling up its like little sleeping bag. It's like a little sleeping bag until he gets his head in. He gets his head in, and then you watch this little thing turn green. It spins like this beautiful thing, and then it's got this gold top. And then all of a sudden, if you watch it for days, it turns black. And you go, oh, it died. And then you watch, and then you see that it's clear. And the next thing you know, and if you really watch, and we've had this miracle, being able to watch this happen, where it starts to come out of the chrysalis. And it dries its wings in the sun. And it flies away. And sometimes it lands in the pool and dies. It's true. And it's very sad. Because we're attached.
All that work.
All that work. We're attached. But it was on to the next best thing, you know, the next embodiment. So what I've often wondered, and I'm going to close with this, and I'm going to open up the sacred dialogue to, like, what do you think about oneness? What does it mean to you, the one? What does it mean that if we are all the blessed self, that means we're all connected. That means we are one. We look different. We sound different. But the essence, the suchness of us is not. Suchness of us is the same. It's that one divine source, that one energy. So if we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and we have to get through the day-to-day, life on life's terms, practical reality stuff, and constantly remind ourselves that we're not this body, why are we here? Is that like some cosmic bad joke? You know what I mean? Some of us think that way. Some of us are bhakti-oriented. I think these two are bhakti-oriented. So that they're like, they just love everything. They see God in everything, and they love everything. I'm a struggler. I struggle. I struggle with practical reality, day-to-day stuff. So it's like, okay, so why am I here then? And I think that my mission here, why I was put on this earth, in this embodiment, I hope not the next embodiment, because I hope I get enlightened in this embodiment, but I don't know if that's going to happen. I got a lot of work to do. But I think that I'm here for 3 reasons. To love you. To love you no matter what. To serve you no matter what. And to remember who I really, really am.